We're going to start our second section in Chapter 2, so that is Chapter 2.2 for the second section. And as always, we always start with our learning target. Our learning target for today is compare and order rational numbers. So let's jump right into it here. We're going to be asked to replace the black dot in the center with either a less than symbol, a greater than symbol, or an equal to symbol to make a true statement. Well, as I look at these two fractions, it's very difficult to compare them when they do not have the same denominator. So I want to look for what has the same denominator between 7 and 13. In other words, I'm looking for the least common multiple. None are jumping out at me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3/7 and I'm going to multiply it by 13 over 13. If I do the same thing to the numerator that I do to the denominator, I keep my fraction the same. So 3 times 13, I'm working with the numerator here of just this side, I get 39. And 13 times 7 would be 91. Over here, I'm going to multiply by a different fraction, but it's also going to be equal to 1. I'm going to multiply 8/13 by 7 over 7. If I'm multiplying by 7 over 7, I'm going to have the same denominator. I'm going to have 91. And I've got 8 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. So as I look at this, I've got 39, and I'm 39 91st, and I'm comparing it to 56 91st. So the 56 is larger than the 91. So I would replace it with my less than symbol. 39 91 is less than 56 91st. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to look for a common denominator between these two fractions. Common denominator happens to be 15. So I'm going to say 2/3 times 5 over 5 becomes 10 over 15. And this, I'm going to say 3/5 times 3 over 3. And that becomes then 9/15. So which is bigger, 10/15 or 9/15? Well, the 10/15 is bigger, so I will use the greater than symbol, and the answer then would be greater than. Another way to do problems like this is to change them both into decimals. We'll compare them using decimals. Well, of course, the 0.07 is already in decimal form. Let me change the 7/11 into decimal forms by taking 11 into 7. 11 would go in there 6 times, or 0.6. That would be 66. 4. 11 will go into 40 3 times. It would be 33. 11 will go into 70 6 times. I think I've got a repeating decimal here. I think it's 0.63 with a bar over it, 0.63 because it repeats. I've got 0.7 is somehow related to 0.63 with a bar over it. Which of those two numbers is larger? Well, the 0.7 is larger. Therefore, I'll put the fat end or the open end towards the 0.7, and I'm going to say it is greater than. 0.7 is greater than 0.63 with a repeating bar. Another problem like this, we're going to work in decimal form. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to change this into decimal form. I'm going to take 4 divided by 9. 9 will go into 40. 4 times would be 36. And I've got a repeating decimal. It's 0.4, 0.4444, or I could go 0.4 repeating. So 0.4 repeating compared to 0.5. In this case, the 0.5, if you looked at them on a number line, the 0.5 would be larger. So I would use 0.4 is less than 0.5. 0.4 bar is less than 0.5. Compared negative rational numbers. Same kind of problem, but this time it's done with negative numbers. All right, now here they're already in decimal form. if I imagine these on a number line, which one would be furthest to the left? Well, negative 0.7 would be further to the left than negative 0.62. So negative 0.62 is actually bigger than negative 4.7. So therefore, it is a greater than symbol. Greater than symbol. Negative 4.62 is greater than negative 4.7. Here we've got some more where we're just going to practice this. We're going to look at these, imagine them on a number line, a negative 2.7 and a negative 2.67. This number is actually bigger. It's further to the right on the number line. So that would be a negative 2.67 is larger than or greater than a negative 2.7. Down here we've got them, but they're in decimal form. But we can, but they do happen to have the, I'm sorry, they're in fraction form, but they do happen to have the same denominator. So the comparison becomes very easy. Is negative 5, how does negative 5 compare with negative 7? Negative 5 is greater than negative 7. So the answer would be greater than. Here we've got them again. It's in fraction form. And we've got the same denominator, which makes it very easy. We have negative 6 compared to a negative 8. Negative 6 is greater than negative 8. So it's greater than. Negative 6 is greater than negative 8.